what things are FlyForm and ServiceNow going to be doing together over the next 12 months?
Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah, because I know what I'd like to do more. Yeah, love to do more case studies and stuff. So what's it like partnering with ServiceNow?
Well, it's good. We've attached ourselves to one partner exclusively, so you've got to be pretty, sure that that's the right thing to do. But if you look at the partner that we focused on, it's a rocket ship. So there's no regrets there. Being a pure play partner for us actually works to our advantage.
Yeah, that means you can be much more subject matter experts in that field.
Yeah, I mean, and also the customer's got more trust for you, because if you're trying to sell the customer everything, then they feel that there's an agenda there. But if you specialise in a particular technology, I think you've got more claim to be expert in that technology, and the customer's got confidence and trust that that's where you've invested, that's where all your people are trained on, that's what you're passionate about. And equally, when we're attracting people to come and work for FlyForm, we're not trying to sell all sorts of different cloud technologies and be a jack of all trades. We're trying to get people to gravitate towards us that are really passionate about ServiceNow. And as you know, there's a lot of people.
Well, I've seen the people you've brought on.
Yeah.
But I've known you guys for a while, and I've seen how partner segmentation works. You guys have been bronze partners, silver, gold. Talk me through that journey.
Yeah, I mean, so that was fun, and it's changed, quite a bit over the times, because initially it was more of a tier, and now it's a segmentation. And it's hard when you start off as a ServiceNow partner. There's various criteria that you need to achieve, and it's all there for sensible reasons. It's not so much about revenue goals and things like that. That might play a small part in there, but it's about your investment in ServiceNow.
Yeah.
How many people have you got? What certifications have you got? What level of customer satisfaction have you got? These are the important ones. So obviously, when you're tiny, when we started off, there was a handful of us. You can imagine when you look at the tier in the steps, they seem like bloody big steps, right? But as we grow, we were able to kind of work out what we need and just accelerate on that journey. As we were growing, we were around a bronze partner for quite a period of time, and they changed into sort of like specialist, premier and elite. And we were actually the fastest partner to progress through those two stages in the UK. And we just put real focus on it, certifications, people coming in, training, train, and invest in there. And by far our greatest success on that was our customer satisfaction score.
Yeah.
And to be fair to ServiceNow, they rated that heavily in the weighting of the scoring system.
Right.
So obviously we were then able to progress to the elite partner status that we are now, because they put so much weighting on CSAT. And if you look at the playground that we're in terms of the other partners in there, we're up in the same tier as the global system integrators and all those sort of guys. And it does give customers a lot of confidence that they pick the right people when we have that kind of badge of honour. And we're super proud to have that badge, and it's referenced often when customers are making partner selection choices.
So when you look at what's next, ambition-wise, clearly I know you've got aspirations to grow the business, to make more revenue, but what's the dream for FlyForm?
I think, in terms of the dream itself, the vision, our CEO, Phil, is the one that talks passionately about the long-term vision as FlyForm as an organisation. And we've got some other content on that he's far more...
articulate?
To be brutally honest. But if I talk about maybe the shorter-term goals, what we are really passionate right now is about being the largest independent pure play ServiceNow partner.
Okay.
And if you kind of unpick those words in there, so largest in terms of scale, number of people, how many experts can we bring to bear to solve customer problems, to be able to tackle multiple customer journeys at any one time, so the largest in that sense. Independent in that we're not owned by any other company. People that are quite wise and savvy to the ServiceNow ecosystem will understand that there's been a lot of acquisitions, and often companies get absorbed, and it's not always, unfortunately, the most positive experience for the people in the companies being absorbed and the customers, to be brutally honest. So remaining independent is something that we're really pleased to kind of make that statement boldly and publicly. Because what we're saying to two things. Firstly, customers, if you trust in us and work in us, we're not going to suddenly change and be owned by a system integrator overnight, and then that relationship has kind of gone the way of maybe previous relationships they've had.
And that's where your company culture maps back to a benefit for your customers as
Exactly.
well as the FlyForm employees.
And being transparent as well and authentic with what we say, so being able to make these statements. We're not all here for a quick buck and to turn around and flip a company. We're here to grow something that we're passionate about. But if you imagine how that works for employees as well, if you were part of a fun organisation that maybe had a culture similar to FlyForm a few years ago, and then one day that was purchased by a global system integrator, and now you're one of 100,000 staff, then you're fun on that journey. For some people, it might be fine. For some people, I think, that's not really what I'm interested in and passionate about. So when they come to join FlyForm, by us making that statement publicly, they know they can build a career with us, that it's going to last years and years to come. And they know that, that it's a family that they can be part of, a journey they can be part of, that's not going to be cut short abruptly due to an acquisition.
I want to touch on a couple of things you said.
Okay.
Right? With global system integrators,
Yeah.
for ServiceNow, there is clearly a benefit of partnering with those GSIs.
Absolutely, I
right?
understand
They bring
that.
a lot of revenue to the table,
Yep.
and they bring a lot of experience, and
Yep.
they can solve large, complex organisations, problems. So, if I'm talking to my customers and saying, here's why you should use FlyForm versus maybe a GSI, how do you differentiate yourself or position yourself?
Yeah, it comes up all the time, right? And then we're really confident where our strengths lie. If you imagine the flexibility, the agility that we can move at compared to a global system integrator, that often really works well for a customer. So whether that be responding to a bid or an RFP, or bending our process to suit a customer's particular challenge, or flexing and pivoting from one style of project to another, customers don't know what's coming next, especially in this economy, given all the challenges that are faced. So picking a partner that has that agility, that has slim lines of management, where the customer knows and can talk to the co-founders, where the SMT are present and sponsoring all the customer engagements, that has massive advantages for them that I think they appreciate and benefit from. So I think that's definitely our greatest strength. And I understand that system integrators will sometimes be better placed for certain customers that operate in a particular way. And that's often seen when it's part of a wider, bigger transformation where maybe ServiceNow is one of multiple elements. But if it's a ServiceNow predominant engagement, then I think that we're very confident in our strengths and often compete against and win against those guys repeatedly.
So, you guys have made a lot of investment in ServiceNow. You make a big thing about being a pure play.
Yeah.
What would be your focus areas that you want to really double down on in your investment?
I think it's a great question because it's easy to get excited about the platform and you want to do it all, and maybe one day we will, and we need to, I'm sure. But for the time being, in terms of where we are in scale, if I think about is a number of things. In order for me to confidently say to a customer, we're great at that, I need to have the people, multiple people certified with experience, not just done an exam, but actually have deployed that project multiple times successfully. I need high CSATs in that area to be able to pinpoint it, and ideally, great customer case studies as well. So that's where you can with credibility say, I'm good at that part of ServiceNow. And I think sometimes people get too excited and just say, yeah, we do all of it.
CSAT's important.
Yeah.
Obviously, customer satisfaction is our ultimate goal. One thing I would really like to partner more with FlyForm on is those joint case studies.
Yeah.
And the reason being is that, we've spoken before about the great case study we did with DVSA.
Yeah.
I would like to see more of those stories because I really feel that they give us credibility in the marketplace. If you can articulate, here's a customer that has achieved value and here's how they achieved it, and guess what, they're happy to speak about it, nothing sings better than a reference like that, right?
Exactly. There's no point in us getting a sales team to tell that story when we've got customers willing to tell that story. It's 10 times more powerful. And those joint case studies that we've been doing are coming along really well. So, in the last year, we've partnered much more closely with ServiceNow's marketing team and customer advocacy team. And even just last week, we released a case study with a fantastic customer of ours called Jigsaw24. We took them on a journey last year where they consumed the customer service management module and the field service management module. But that's jargon, that's tech. What do they actually do? They were servicing their customer that they're passionate about. They were using this to improve the customer satisfaction, improve the response time, and invest in their customer. So we're just really pleased to be part of that. It was great that they were willing to speak to ServiceNow and create that case study. And then obviously from our point of view, when that's released on, ServiceNow pushed that out on LinkedIn to their 550,000, you can imagine that does the world of good for our brand, for our customers' brand, and for ServiceNow. So I do see it as everyone, kind of wins out of that situation.
Look around us where we are, a load of big retailers, a lot of well-known high street brand names.
Yeah.
One of the things I think is really exciting is that some of our technology investments are not just going to satisfy KPIs in the IT space, but how can that lead to operational benefits and transformation? Pick one of the retailers behind us, for example. If we could help them sell more clothes or help them service more customers, wouldn't that be a really compelling case study?
Yeah, and exactly, and that's where we start looking at workflow in general rather than talking about IT service management or customer service management. We are just simplifying processes that customers currently do or sometimes struggle with. So I think that's an area we're really passionate about, and it's an area of great opportunity. I see huge growth and potential in there. And I think customers are starting to get it as well. They don't pigeonhole ServiceNow into a particular area anymore. They see it as an enterprise platform which they can use to solve multiple business problems. And that's a fantastic place to be when the customers have got that mindset.
Cool. So you individually, Adam,
yes.
you've worked in the ServiceNow ecosystem for quite some time now.
Yeah.
What's your favourite thing about being in that ecosystem?
It is so it's a vibrant ecosystem, as you know. So even in the UK, you've got a good selection of partners. Everyone's really friendly. This is not cutthroat. We compete for business amongst each other, but everyone knows each other, gets on well, talks, etc. So yeah, as a partner community, I'd say that's quite different, and I enjoy that. ServiceNow as a partner, is super partner friendly. In previous jobs I've worked with different vendors, they talk a good talk about partner friendly, and then the minute you turn your back, it's like direct deal, So, and that's ruthless, right? And I understand why, but it's pretty painful when you're on our side and that happening. But actually, what you see in ServiceNow is someone that does have a partner first mentality. They genuinely get in the trenches with us, invest with us, and we work on campaigns to help customers together.
If we're going to scale and be successful, we have to have that relationship with our partners. One thing I did want to ask you about is you've got a pretty good footprint here in the local market.
Yeah.
As you know, ServiceNow is obviously a global company. Where do you see opportunities in new markets and new geographies, perhaps?
Yeah, so that's something we're really excited about. If we take the blueprint that we've built for FlyForm, and a lot of hard work's gone into building that blueprint, there's absolutely the opportunity to scale it internationally. But I think, if you think about us and our brand and what you know about us, we don't like to kind of put one foot in. If we're going to do it, we want to do it properly. We want to do it to the highest standard. We've got the tagline, the ultimate ServiceNow partner. I don't want to, as a company, we don't want to go to a new region and be average. We want to go to a new region and smash it. So that takes a lot of planning.
Like the Romans.
Yeah. That takes a lot of planning and preparation, carefully selecting the region. ServiceNow give us good insight and coaching on that. But yeah, for that I would say watch this space. But when we do it, we want to do it in a really considered way and make sure that we make a big impact wherever that new territory may be.
Lastly, what would you want from ServiceNow to help with the continued partnership?
I think the investment that we get from ServiceNow is phenomenal. The face time with people at all different levels, from product teams to execs to the alliance and channel ecosystem. I'm looking forward to the events where we actually get to meet people in person. I would just say more of the same, really, and don't forget or neglect the partners that are smaller and up and coming, and it hasn't happened before. I would just ask to continue that, really. No huge changes.
Awesome.